Anyway, let's go in and go to sleep. Actually, it's gonna make me shit myself. I can hear it. I think it is gonna make me shit myself. I'm gonna have to get up in the morning to go take a shit because of the shit that I ate tonight. I'm fucking tired right now. My shoes and my knees are killing my knees right now. Get up. Fast speed charging. Yeah, this is open, so it's fine for now. I think it's probably some kind of hole in Android 12. Like I said, it has different apps that are necessary for mobile data, and it is a Google app. That's a system app that runs mobile data on 12, whereas on 11 it's an Android app, not specifically Google app. It's default carrier something. So it could be a big hole within Android 12 that the Soviet put in to be able to blank out SIM cards specific to 12. So as long as you don't use Android 12, it should be fine. You know, that's you know, it's probably been in Android 12 since it came out. Yeah, since it came out, it's been in Android 12. So it's you know, it's maybe it might not be in the first versions of Android 12, the first security patches, but it was definitely in the latest one. Yeah, I was running, what was I running? September or October? So September, it was on September. So if it's like I said, it's a Google app on 12 instead of the usual apps that you have on 11. It's a Google app that runs mobile data. So you know, that's probably you know, it's the way they you know, it is a problem in the AP file. It's not the modem. It's a problem within the AP file that does it. You know, it's like I said, it is at least a gigabyte bigger than 12. It's a big size difference. So that's something to consider. You know, if you have because I'm pretty sure they can do the same thing with the O2 SIM. Just blank it on 12. So that's something to consider if you have no means of replacing a SIM. Because, like I said, now I have to go to a Vodafone store, tell them about it, and then maybe I'll get a SIM in the mail, you know, a week from now if I go now, and if I have money to replace it, and if I have an address in the mailbox, I can maybe get a replacement SIM in about a week or 2 weeks. Okay? A major pain in the ass and a major inconvenience. A major pain in the ass and a major inconvenience if a provider as big as Vodafone, you know, cannot replace the SIM on the spot. Now just relocate the number to another SIM and let me get a SIM on the spot in the store. Yeah? But like I said, you know, because reasons, you have to wait a week for a SIM card. Yeah, well, at least 2 weeks. You know, it is you know, it's not much of a, it wouldn't be such a big issue. Like I said, if I had an address and time to wait a week, obviously I cannot wait a week. In a week I can make over 1,000 gifts in a week. Yeah, a week is too long to wait. And you know, it's you know, that's something to watch out for at 12, because they can apparently there's a big hole in it to blank out SIMs, and it is blank. There's nothing on that SIM card now. You know, there's nothing on that SIM card now because it's blank. You know, it's a blank SIM card. There's nothing on it. Does this mean that an eSIM that is electronic on your phone is better than a physical SIM? No, it's not, because you cannot make hardware changes to your phone. With an eSIM, it's just in there permanently, and you cannot make any hardware changes to your phone. You understand? That's the issue with an eSIM, is that you cannot make hardware changes to your phone. With this one, you can with these phones that are, you know, GSM SIM card phones, you can make hardware changes to the phone because you can use a different SIM card. You know, that's what you want. You want to make changes. You know, make occasional changes. Swap out your SIM once a day. You know, if you have an update, do a side load, you know, once a day. Run the commands once a day. I have an update for 11 that I can use to get me up to December or November. You know, it's you know, does this mean that, you know, it's a huge issue now for. You know, does this mean that it's a huge issue for physical SIMs? No, it's not. This is a one-off. Yeah, it's a one-off. Now, it hasn't happened to anybody else? Maybe. Maybe. You know, this does not mean that an eSIM has more advantages than a physical SIM card. It really doesn't. Like I said, the reason why they're doing that is because you cannot turn off what they're doing. Yeah, you are with an eSIM, you cannot turn off what they're doing, and as a result, you know, you are sold. Yeah, you are sold. You are stuck with whatever it is that they're doing. You know, that's the the reason why they're going to an eSIM is because it gives them an advantage. Remember, if it gives them an advantage, they're probably going to do it. Yeah, that's what an eSIM is. That's why everybody started doing that now, right? It's not just Apple. I heard there was some other ones. They have eSIM capable phones. And like I said, if it doesn't give them an advantage, they're not going to do it. You know, if it does give them an advantage, you know, they're going to have an eSIM. And that's not what you want. Like I said, it does not give you an advantage compared to physical SIMs. This is a one-off problem. It's probably specific to Android 12. It's probably not going to happen on 11. And now, because I don't have an address, I have to maybe go into a store, tell them about the problem, and wait a week for a SIM card. Wait a week for a SIM card, and go from there. You know, like I said, it usually takes a little bit longer than a week. Because I did it with EE when I had an address, and they stole my phones twice. I did it with EE, and I had to call them up and tell them about the issue, and they sent me replacement SIMs. Now the issue was, the advantage was that I had paid with my credit card for those SIMs. You know, for service on those SIMs. The issue with this SIM card is that it was a gift, more or less. Someone else paid for it. Yeah, with EE, when I replaced my EE SIM cards, you know, I replaced them, and I had paid for the service using one of my credit cards. Yeah, so it was obviously no issue there. But you know, this one, I didn't pay for it; someone else did. So that's the issue now with this SIM. If I want to get it replaced, I'm still going to have to wait a week, or maybe even 2 weeks, to get one in the mail. Like I said, a store should be able to just port the number over to another SIM. You know, Vodafone should be able to just port the number over to another SIM with another serial number, and we'll go from there, man. I mean, it should be relatively easy. You know, an easy thing to do. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to wait a week, maybe 2 weeks, instead of just having this instantly done at the store by porting the number over to another SIM card. So it's you know, it's it's a bit of a hassle. Like I said, you know, that's the issue with 12. It's a little bit too big. You don't know what the hell is happening in there. You know, that's the issue with 12. It's a big file size. It's a big file size for an OS. And it's very suspicious as a result. You know, 8-something gigs, whereas Android 11 was like 6.7, you know, maybe 7 gigs. They added an additional gig on top of it, out of nowhere. You know, it doesn't make any sense at all. You know, granted, 10 was 4 gigs, which was acceptable for a mobile phone. You know, Android 10 was 10 gigs, maybe 5 gigs on the Note 10 Plus. This is more complex, but 8 gigs? It's very suspicious. It's cold in here a little bit. Hopefully it's going to be a nice day. Today they should have some good chow meis. They can bring us some nice orange chicken. If they bring us some nice orange chicken, we can have a good meal today. We got to plug in everything because I drained everything yesterday. see, this one, like I said, seems to be just as bad as 12 on charging now. Went to the station last night and I couldn't get it to charge. See, there it is, it's not charging. So like I said, they probably replaced all the firmware that I had in the bag on the USB drive. I don't doubt it one bit. This is not supposed to happen right now. There's no reason why that should happen. So like I said, they did something to the firmware. Like I suspect, I think they pulled out the bag and they did something to the firmware that I keep on the USB drive. Because this is just as bad as 12. It works exactly the same, does the same thing, it's the same, just as bad as 12 was. Even 12 was better actually. This is new on 11. I've never seen this before. Now with this much shit turned off. Definitely a new thing. So I gotta run the special commands over here again. Like I said, with that many commands and turning off that many things and uninstalling that many things for this to happen, it's absurd. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen because what it means is that they pulled out the bag and they replaced the firmware that I had in my bag. And I kept in my bag in my laptop bag. That's what it means. Anyway, let's run these fucking commands again. And now, believe it or not, it's these fucking directories. Like I said, that's what gets it moving again. Deleting these directories really, kind of gets things moving again with this charging issue. Who knows? Like I said, if they replace the firmware that I have in my bag, it's like I said, it's just as bad as 12 was. I said it's slowing down now that I'm running the command, and now it's picking up again. Let's plug it in and see what happens. Yeah, so let's see what we get. Still slow. So, like I said, it's a more persistent problem on this one because they did something to the firmware on that I kept in my bag. See, now it's faster from the laptop. Does it mean that someone went through the bag and replaced this firmware? It's still possible. Like I said, the bag was definitely pulled out of there. Somebody definitely went through the bag. This happened within the last 2 months. Does this mean that they went through the bag and they started fucking around within my drives and SD cards and shit? Well, they did. Yeah, they did, because like I said, I had that SIM card that I found on the ground next to that sleeping box, and I know for sure that I put that on the back of the 850. Yeah, I know I did that, and I found that SIM card out of the phone, out of the bag, and on the ground. So someone definitely pulled stuff out of the bag. Yeah, doesn't mean that they replaced the firmware. If they have it, if they have 11, you got to have the checksums matching. You got to have the, if you want to modify this, you got to do it. You got to do it by modifying the settings. Yeah, you got to do it by modifying the AP file, and it has to match. Yeah, it has to have an MD5 checksum that matches. Now, if they have the source, you can do this. Yeah, if you have the source from Samsung that accepts these checksums, you can do this. You can modify the AP file and make an entirely brand new AP file that has modified settings to stop charging, do your phone hacking, etc., etc. But if you don't have a matching checksum, you cannot put it on the phone. Yeah, because the bootloader is locked. It's not a rooted device. Now, you could put whatever you want on the phone if it was rooted, and you definitely do not want the rooted device. It's not going to save you in this instance. It works against you if you try to root it because you have problems. Now, you're better off with a bootloader that is locked and will only accept Samsung firmware and Google firmware and security patches that are official. If you root it, you can put anything you want on it. Yeah, you can even destroy the phone. Yeah, that's the sure way. If anything, rooting is the sure way to destroy a phone. See, I'm erasing these directories from the phone, and the reason I can do that is because the phone is not rooted, and those directories more or less are protected. Now, if I find a directory that this Soviet is using that is not officially part of the AP file, it gets erased. Yeah, that's the difference. That's the reason why I have to go through all those directories, which is thousands upon thousands of directories, and specify each one. Yeah, specify each directory that I want to erase. Yeah, because if it's not an official directory that's provided within a security patch from Google or Samsung, that's not in the security patch, if the directory is not there and it's not in the AP file, any directory that doesn't belong, that this Soviet brightfuck is using on my phone, gets erased. Yeah, that's why I have so many commands in here to erase directories. Yeah, because the phone is not rooted, you can do that. And any directory that is in there that doesn't belong, that the Soviet brightfuck is using to get into the phone, gets erased. That's why I keep looking at the apps, and I look at the debug information, the dump sys information for each package, and I get the directory from the package, and then I erase it. And because that's what they're doing. They're using packages that are already on the phone to get into the phone, and they're using the directories of those packages to get into the phone. If there's a directory in there that doesn't belong, that's not part of the AP file or a security patch, you have to erase it. That's why I always erase all the fucking directories every day. I do this. Every day I erase all the directories that I can. And there's still more that I need to look into and erase even more. Now, is it fun? No, it's not fun. It's not fun. But because the kernel is fake, and some of the apps on the phone that are preloaded in the AP file are fake, that's what they're using to get into the phone. Those are preloaded apps that have backdoors that they're using to break into the phone. Understand? That's why you have to erase the directories. No, that's why I have to erase all the directories, because they're using the directories from the apps that are preloaded, that are fake, to get into the phone. Yeah, and if they add directories that don't belong on this phone, that script should erase any directories that don't belong. That's why it's got so many commands. That's why it looks everywhere on the phone for these directories that don't belong on the phone, and they get erased. That's what they're using. See, fast charging starts up right away, very normally, when you erase those directories. Yeah, you can go through the phone. It's the directories that they're using from an app to stop fast charging. And it goes down to normal fucking charging. It's useless. You gotta wait 4 hours. Yeah, at 1600 milliamps, you gotta wait 15 watts, which is the default charging speed. You gotta wait 4 fucking hours, guys. Yeah, and now they have, I was looking on YouTube with Unbox Therapy, they have a Chinese phone that's, I don't know, $400 or something, $500. That charges at 180 watts or 140 watts, I don't know what it was, 145 watts. But the issue is, you're buying a Chinese phone, the Soviet, who is Chinese, just saw you use your credit card in your name on Amazon to buy a nice Chinese phone because it charges at 145 watts. And now the Chinese Ashkenazi Jew, who is the manager, who might be JJ, because everybody says it's JJ, it's JJ. That's what everybody says. It's JJ, it's Kevin Feige, JJ, JJ. And I heard you, and we got plenty of them. And we have plenty of those matches for JJ. A lot of them. Yeah, it should be plenty. The fact that you require more makes you suspicious. Yeah, whoever the fuck is running and entertaining this gig. The fact that you're telling me that you need another one makes you suspicious. You understand? So yeah, you can get a nice 145 watt phone that charges at 145 watts from Amazon right now. Very cheaply. It's very cheap. It's only like $500. But as soon as that Chinese Ashkenazi Soviet gets wind of you using your credit card in your name to purchase a Chinese phone because it charges at 145 watts, he's got you by the balls, guys. He's got you by the balls, literally. And there's nothing wrong with those Chinese phones. They do the same thing this one does. They do the same thing that a Pixel does. There's nothing in them. There's no magic beams from the CCP in those phones. But as soon as the Ashkenazi Chinese manager gets wind of you using your own credit card in your fucking name to purchase Chinese phones, he will get you by your balls, guys. Granted, they only have to steal a bag from you. Look at where I am. Yeah? This guy literally told the whole fucking world, or all 8 billion brown people, that he stole a bag, and it's not from a white guy. It must be from a victimized brown male, you know, because apparently I'm a victimized brown male if I'm not fucking white. Holy shit, Soviet bride, fuck, if I'm not white, you're definitely hella white. You know, if I'm not white, you and your fucking crew, bright fuck, must be hella fucking white. Because I must be a victimized brown male if I'm not fucking white. But you see, that's how this works. I mean, that's the reason why they have those Chinese phones that charge at 145 watts. Why do you think they have that? And this motherfucker managed to split the 25 watts on a Z Flip and a Z Fold between two batteries, when you're supposed to charge them at 50 watts, because it's two batteries and you can charge them both at the same time at 25 watts, so you get yourself a nice 50 watt phone that will finish charging in half an hour. But you're not going to get that. But what he did manage to do is split 25 watts. Yeah, split 25 watts between two fucking batteries. So what the fuck, are you charging both batteries at 13 watts, 12 watts? You're charging both fucking batteries at 12 watts? Is that what you're telling me? You're below the default of 15 watts. You can even charge both at 15 watts so you can get 30 watts in there? This guy, this pernicious and obnoxious Ashkenazi Chinese fuck, split 25 watts between two batteries on a Z Flip and a Z Fold. Why? Because he's an obnoxious fuck. That's why. That's why he split 25 watts between two batteries. Because he's an obnoxious fuck. Understand? That's like fucking dummy Samsung had 25 watts fucking 5 years ago. That's when Samsung had 25 watts 5 years ago. It's still 25 watts. Split between two batteries because of reasons. Because reasons, you're still stuck at 25 watts. And you're stuck at 30 watts. I'm surprised they stuck 30 watts in it's really surprising. They don't move up from 25 watts, even though 30 watts is more messianic. And even though 30 watts fulfills the messianic prophecy foretold of Ashkenazi Chinese Jewry overtaking the world. They like to blame, they like to blame a brown guy. They like to blame a black guy now that they elevated to manager status. And they say it's Churchill. I believe you, it's Churchill, definitely. It's definitely Churchill. Churchill was a Jew from the time of Genghis Khan, because Genghis Khan was very likely Churchill. Let's say I believe you. Yeah? It's the ultimate manager, Churchill, yeah? But he's a Jew as well. Genghis Khan was very likely Churchill. That's why he was fat. That's why he was a fat, chubby fuck with albinism. That's why Genghis Khan was a fat, chubby fuck with albinism, because he was Churchill. Yeah, let's say it is. But, Churchill is a Jew as well. Yes or no? Yeah, it is. What is Churchill? Supposed to be a Gentile? Does it look like it? It really doesn't look like it, guy. Yeah? It doesn't fucking look like it, does it? From the gifts that I found, it really doesn't look like a Gentile to me. Yeah? So, even though 30 watts is more messianic, it's only the Pixel 6 that charges, 6 Pro, you gotta get the 6 Pro, I think. It's only the 6 Pro that charges at 30 watts. Samsung and, well, I don't know if there's anything else. See, Samsung is stuck at 25 watts. The S23 Ultra that has yet to come out is still 25 watts. Why not hit the 30 watt limit, man, and make it more messianic? It's against your creed if you don't make it 30 watts, isn't it? You're going against the creed of Freemasonry if that S23 also has a 3 in the name. It's not 30 watts. Yeah, you gotta make it 30 watts because it's an S23, and then you can have 3 in 30 watts in the name itself of S23, and you got yourself 2 3 3s, guys. Yeah? How messianic is that? But the S23 got certified with 25-watt chargers. Yeah, the S23 got certified with 25-watt chargers. The S23 got certified with 25-watt chargers, guys, and it's been 6 fucking years. 5 years since they brought out the fucking 25 watts for Samsung. And it's been 25 watts ever since. The 45 watt is fake because it charges at the same speed. It charges at the same fucking speed, guys. Only like 3 minutes difference, 2 minutes difference. I can do that with this one. I can do that with this 30 watt charger that I have. I can achieve that 45 watt difference in 3 minutes with this 30 watt charger. You see, the Soviet really wants you to buy that Chinese phone, guys. You know, that Chinese phone is really, he really fancies his Chinese friends who he says are spying on them, but they didn't do 9/11. Now, if you're saying that the Chinese friends are spying on you, bright fuck, they should have done 9/11. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious that if you have a problem with them 20 years after 9/11, they're the ones that should have done 9/11. But you are a Chinese Ashkenazi Jew, and you got a soft spot for your homeland of Mongolia, guy. You got a big soft spot for your Mongolian golden horde. Yeah, and it's the reason why the Chinese didn't do 9/11. And now your stupid bright fuck horse manure fucking grain of a hominid is telling us that they're spying on you. You're telling us, bright fuck, that they're spying on you, but they didn't do 9/11? Wouldn't it be more convenient if they did do 9/11 to make spying more believable? But they're not capable of spying on you, bright fuck. You're a lying stupid fuck who makes a living out of lying. Understand? That's what you are, guy. You're a lying, stupid, horse manure, brain hominid fuck who makes a living out of lying. Because they're not spying on you. You're the one bringing them here. If they're spying on you, fucking ban them. But then they won't make you any cheap shit for us to buy. Now, you might have to pay Wiley to make you some laptops and some phones. And lo and behold, no Jew has ever paid a Gentile as far as I know. You know, if you bring back manufacturing over here, bright fuck, from China, and you ban them from coming over here, you're gonna have to pay Wiley to make you laptops and phones. What a tragedy that would be. It goes against your creed, bright fuck, to pay a Gentile for anything. Yeah? That's why you're not gonna ban them from coming over here, because you might have to pay Wiley to make you Taiwan Semiconductor over here in Europe or America. And lo and behold, there's never been a Jew that has ever paid any Wiley anything. I can tell you that much. That's why you're not banning them, you know. Like I said, it's another tool to use in the framing program. That's why you're not banning them from coming over here. You're not banning them from coming over here because you're an Ashkenazi Chinese bright fuck buying yourself some time with this framing gig. That's what you're doing. What else are you gonna do besides buy some time? Buy some time in the queue. Let's slow down, Whitey. No, not too fast, Whitey. Don't charge too fast. Slow down a little bit. Don't make so many gifts. Oh my gosh, you fucking Whitey. Oh my gosh, you fucking Whitey. You make so many fucking gifts. Why the fuck do you need to charge so fast, Whitey? Slow down, Whitey. You're just buying time for yourself because you're a stupid bright fuck who got caught, and you're buying yourself some time with this framing gig. That's what you're doing. What else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do besides buy yourself some time? Oh, I got his bag. I got his phones. I got his clothes. I got copies on his files, and I got his accounts. You know, by turning off that SIM, you prove to me that you're using the provider side, very likely, for your framing program. You prove to me that you're using mobile networks, and you're using the providers that are entirely owned by Jews, including that Mexican fella that his name fucking escapes me. The biggest telecom mogul in the world is Mexican. Oh, have to be. Fucking Whitey's too dumb for it. The Whitey's too dumb to run the telecom company, so it had to be a Mexican fella, whose name I don't remember. You know, it escapes me at the moment, but I'll look up his name and make some gifts of him as well. There's actually my girlfriend that told me about him. I didn't know that the biggest telecom guy was a Mexican. Big surprise. I thought he would be a Chinese fella, but that would be too suspicious. Well, it would be too suspicious to have a Chinese fella being the biggest telecom mogul in the world. It had to be a Mexican. You know, because they are Mexicans. They can do stuff. Yeah? Why they cannot do stuff? Why they cannot own the biggest telecom company in the world? Had to be a Mexican fella. Well, fucking God forbid he would have been a Chinese fella owning the biggest telecom company in the world. Heaven forbid if he would have been a Chinese fella. They would have spied on us and fucked us all. With their biggest telecom company owned by a Chinese fella, they would have fucked us all with Chinese spying. I bet. But you see, like I said, you're a lying bright fuck buying yourself some time. Why are we surprised? I'm not surprised. What else are you gonna do? But buy some time. Tag along with Whitey a little bit longer, because lo and behold, you can't create Hollywood in Africa. It doesn't have any value in Africa. You're not gonna make Hollywood in South America, because you lack the fucking creativity to do so, and you lack the imagination to do so, and nobody's gonna watch your shit in Africa or South America or China, because it's worthless when entertainment is not white, because you lack the fucking creativity and the imagination to create Hollywood outside the West. Okay? No one wants to watch your shit, guy, from Africa or China or Asia or South America. It's worthless entertainment. Because the reality is that your kind is wholly uncreative. Yeah? Your kind. The only reason why you have any creativity in that hominid third brain of yours is because of the genes you got from white people. Yeah? That's the reason, only fucking reason in the world, why you have any creative ability and you have the ability to fit within the society is because of the genes that are in you from white people. And even that you managed to fucking steal. Even that you managed to fucking steal. Like a lying, cheating fuck. Anyway, I think I said enough. %56%. I am happy with that. Are you guys happy with that? I am very happy with that. Minutes to full charge. The laptop is at 56%. The laptop gets a little bit warm. Like I said, the fan is not necessary. I might unplug it again. You know, I might just unplug it again. And I should. I should unplug it again. And like I said, normally I wouldn't say these things. You know, like I said, there's no point in saying it. You know, there was no point for the elves to stick around after the first age. I see no reason why an immortal being would waste their lives fighting for Middle Earth and they can fuck up somewhere else and not worry about any more bullshit. You understand? Normally there wouldn't be any point in saying this. There wouldn't be any point in them making any gifts except that someone is, you know, someone stole something and is holding that something against you. And normally I wouldn't say these things. You know, normally I wouldn't make gifts, but someone stole something and is holding it against me and we need to know who they are. Yeah, we need to identify who these people are. Who are these people? What defines them as a people? Well, there's only 3 things that defines them as people. They are transgender, non-white, or Jewish. That's what defines the group that's holding the bag. You're either transgender, non-white, or Jewish. You can only be one of the 3. Sometimes you're all 3. An individual can be all 3. Non-white, Jewish, and transgender. Most of these people are actually all 3. All 3 combined into one. Jews are non-white, yeah? Now, like I said, because someone said, oh, we got this over here, reported some kind of police report on it, because you did that, now we need to find out who these people are and what defines them as people. They are transgender, non-white, or Jewish. There's no gray area. There's no gray area. Everything is crystal clear. They are non-white, Jewish, or transgender, or all 3. And 3 rings to rule them all. 3 rings to rule them all. Transgenderism, non-white, or Jewish. The ultimate trap. You're never going to be able to improve that condition. Transgenderism is your downfall. Yeah? And your only hope of achieving world domination is making sure that everybody else is transgender. And they get stuck in your trap of the 3 rings. Being non-white, Jewish, or transgender. That was the whole point all along. That was the whole point of it. It's a trap. You can't improve your condition no matter what you try. No matter what you do. No matter what you try. If you have one of those 3 problems, and those are problems. Those are problems to have. Serious ones, yeah? Serious problems to have because they are permanent problems. You cannot improve your condition. If you have those 3 problems, and they are problems, not benefits, you cannot improve your condition, which was the point all along. If you have those 3 problems, and they are not benefits, you cannot improve your condition. That was the point. That was the point. One thing I noticed is that this one drains the battery faster than normal, and faster than I would like. And yeah, I mean, I lost 10% from I mean, it dropped down to 60% very fast last night. I was around 70 something percent, 72 something like that. And it does drain for whatever reason. I don't know what's causing it. It's the kernel. You know, it's the kernel. We can't get anything else. $350, 4.282. I don't think we're going to hit 4.36, 4.38. I think it's still going to be stuck at 4.366. 4.365, 4.367. Now normally, like I said, it should reach maximum maximum voltage of 4.388. 4.388 should be what it reaches. Like I said, there is there is some value in flashing all the firmware. Like I said, CSC, flashing everything, because it might change battery settings, BCM, battery control module settings, or something. Whatever's causing this voltage, drop 100% from 4.388 to 4.366. So flashing everything might have some value. I don't know, because like I said, I can't seem to get it to work. I'll try battery. We should do a battery reset, right? Battery, it's not going to do anything. Dumpsters, battery, check tethering, dumpsters, servicing. Try, the dumpster stuff isn't doing anything for a battery. Should be fine. We'll go ahead and go to the station and see what they got going on. Even though it might be a holiday today, Friday, October 7th. I think it's a holiday. The waiting room might be closed. wow. Delete cached files over the files. Access cached file system. Whoa. It might be a fucking holiday today, and it means that the station will be closed. So let's see if it hits higher voltage than 4.358. .366. I think that's going to be the limit. It's not going to hit 4.388 like before. black paint is over the city around here in the center, and it reflects EMF. Fucking red paint. I don't know what kind of paint it is. Like I said, some of these surfaces got black paint, especially the surfaces where you can sit. Just like the benches at the station. The benches at the station aren't shooting EMF; they reflect EMF. 4.36568, and that's the limit right there, 4.368. Yeah. Like I said, this has a tendency to jump in percentage a lot around here. You know, it'll slow down to nothing around 96 and then jump to 100. So, like I said, you probably really likely did something to that USB board again. Very likely. So I added a Oyster card. I added an Oyster card here. See if it makes a difference, like I said. apparently in this framing program, I'm not even in London. Go figure. So I'm walking around here, and they're saying that because of the framing program, I am physically somewhere else in the world. Maybe like China, perhaps. Yeah, that would be a nice change of pace. So you see, if I'm wearing this Oyster card, or if I'm wearing stuff from London, like bicycle, I put those bicycle stickers around the necklace. They can't say that I'm not in London, right? So apparently in this framing program, you can be anywhere around the world. Wow, man, Santa was very generous with this fucking framing program, huh? Because apparently, if you're a target, you can be anywhere around the world, so long as they got one of these assholes on YouTube or Hollywood doing something. Apparently, you can be anywhere in the world. If the framing program is active and they got a bag or something, you can be anywhere in the world if you are the target. Beats me, man. That's a lot of wishful thinking for a framing program, I gotta tell you. That's a lot of wishful, a lot of ambition for a framing program to have a target that's physically in London, and for this framing gig apparatus to say, oh, he can be anywhere in the world. Well. So you see, that's why I'm wearing this stuff around my neck. Amazon gift cards from the UK, Oyster card from the UK. So it's better that way, huh? Or something identifying to the region that you are in. I guess you could say, have something that is visible, that identifies you to a specific region, like London. There's no Oyster card in America or anywhere else. There's no Amazon gift cards in pounds anywhere around the world. So, like I said, with this framing program, you are basically anywhere in the world because they steal that, or whatever they steal from you. So, you want to wear something that identifies you to the specific region that you are in. Like I said, it seems like with this framing program, they got everything they could want. Everything they could want and more. Like I said, it is a very, very convenient framing program. And again, like I said, it's not white people that are doing this. If white people are evil, why the fuck aren't white people stealing bags? Why the hell is it that white people are not doing this framing program? Because it's not white people. If white people are so evil as this crew says, Why is it that white people don't run this framing program? And why is it that white people are the ones stealing bags? Yeah, it's Jews. Yeah, it's it's these quote-unquote white people that pretend to be white. Like I said before, and there seems to be a lot of them. Full 3.67. Yeah, this thing is ice cold in my hand. So far, it doesn't overheat. Like I said, these commands really tickles its fancy because it didn't overheat last night on 11, just like it didn't on 12. So the A50 is 100 as well. Marvelous, marvelous, guys. Everything is 100%. Like I said, it's what this Ashkenazi Jew is that he wants to project his duplicity, creating non-white mouths to feed around the world. Blame his own behavior on white people. Oh, I got his DNA. It means we get to do this now, and we steal his bag, and then we create all these mixed race people with his DNA, and we can blame white people for doing it to themselves. Yeah, very convenient. Again, the convenience of this framing program, running this framing program out in the open, is staggering. It's amazing how convenient this framing program is. You couldn't make it more convenient if you tried. Yeah? You couldn't make it any more fucking convenient if you fucking tried. Quite amazing, actually, how convenient it is. Brush my teeth because the nasty shit I ate yesterday is still in my mouth. Download some Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, 3 rings to rule them all, like I said. Let's see what else they got going on. Because there's only 1 episode left next week, I think they said. So there's 1 more after this and then the season is over. See what else these YouTubers get to bitch about. What I noticed with this crew, like I said, I found that kid, some black kid in Chicago that criticizes Hollywood and very simple videos. There's no video, it's just him talking. This guy has a lot of views. Like I said, there's nobody holding him back like they're holding me back, which is why I only have 200 fucking followers on that Twitter account. Yeah, so this guy is quite popular, and he's criticizing the Rings of Power even though he votes Democrat. Now remember, the Democrats, the JJs and the Kevin Feige's and the Hollywood crowd, the woke crowd is where this the democratic woke crowd is where this Rings of Power came from. That's why it's woke. That's why it has a political agenda. And this kid, a bright kid who's very likely half white, another Prussian, right? This bright kid is criticizing the Rings of Power, and he gets to near the end of the video, about 15 minutes, and he says, "Yeah, I voted Democrat." It's the irony is, you voted for the woke, the woke assholes that made that TV show. Understand? He waits until he gets to the end of the video, like a quarter to the end, and he says, "I voted Democrat." And I was like, well, the irony is extreme irony, because you voted for the woke Democratic crowd that creates that kind of TV show that you dislike, that corrupted the original Tolkien story. Now, people were saying, it looks like you went and you watched The Lord of the Rings. Those were some of the first movies that you went and you watched, when they came out. Yeah, I did. I did watch the movies in the theaters when they came out. I think most of them were, I don't know how many, I don't even remember how many there was, but I think I watched at least 2 or 3 of them in the theater because it was worth it. At the time, even though Peter Jackson is Jewish, at the time I said, this has definitely got some value here, we're going to go see it. I said to myself, it definitely looks like it has some cultural value to white people. And I said to myself, I'm going to pay this money to go see this movie. I think I saw 2 or 3 of them at the theater, I don't remember. And because it was culturally important to white people at the time, back in the early 2000s when it came out, I said to myself, well, it's has cultural significance to white people, and I'm going to go see it. And I did. I went and I saw it. And it was, what can you say? It was what I expected. In some instances, it beat expectations with some of the scenes and the dialogue and what was happening. It was surprisingly refreshing. Understand? Surprisingly entertaining. Surprisingly, it felt accurate. It felt like home. It felt. You ever watch something that you're familiar with and it feels like you're watching something from home? That's what it felt like. I liked it. I thought it was worth it. To see it in the theater. It was good. But if you voted for the people that made that TV show, I don't really buy your critique. Why are you critiquing them if you voted for them? I mean, said, there's something going on with Android 11 where there's a DNS cache of some sort, where if you access a website on a unblocked network, you can access that website on any network after. Android 12 doesn't do that. I don't know why it does this on 11, but it's very useful because you can browse any website you want if you already accessed it once and it wasn't blocked. So that's the advantage of 11. All the 11 ones do this. 12 doesn't do it. So I don't know why it does that. I got to figure it out and make it work on 12. But it's only an 11 thing. It's, I don't know why it doesn't. It's obviously got something to do with AdGuard and the DNS server, because AdGuard has different DNS servers. And it's only an 11, so I don't know. 12 doesn't do it. 12 is not good. Something in 12. Even the Wi-Fi porters are the way they're supposed to be. In 12 something was going on with the Wi-Fi porters. So it's a different login page, different system logging in. I don't know what they did. Somebody said that voting matters. They keep saying this. That's why each side votes against the other side. Each side will vote against the other side, and it's the whole purpose of it, really. Because one side, whenever they come to power, they do something different. Granted, it's never really different. And besides voting against each other, there's no other point. You understand? And like I said, it's mostly in the same direction. Things are always going to go in the same direction, which is it's not, none of it is conservative. Look how many of examples of conservatives have done nothing conservative. Ronald Reagan is the main one, but the whole point of voting is to get two sides to vote against each other. And most of the time they cancel each other out, and things always go in the same direction. Understand? There's nothing that Trump has done, there's nothing that Ronald Reagan has done to make America conservative. They haven't done anything. They can't do anything. It's always in the same direction. Politics always go in the same direction, and because people vote against each other, because one side will vote against the other side, it cancels each other. They cancel each other out, which is the whole point. That's the whole point of voting. There's no other point. The fact that you might have a Democrat or a Republican in there makes no difference anyway. Things always go in the same direction. And there's nothing, as far as I know, there's not a single conservative in American history that has done anything conservative. Because things always go in the same direction. Liberalism, communism, Marxism, more voting. Maybe more voting will fix it, but I doubt it. Like I said, the whole point of voting is that each side, will vote against the other side and cancel each other out anyway. That's the point of voting. I don't see any other point. If you're so fond of it and you think that it does something for you, that's the reason why they cancel each other out. If you're a Republican or a Democrat and you got voters, the voters cancel each other out because they vote for different things. Yeah? And more or less, like I said, the direction is always the same. There's not a single conservative in American history that has done anything conservative. Ronald Reagan included. Ronald Reagan was a huge fraud, another Hollywood actor. You know, Ronald Reagan was another Hollywood actor that made commercials for GE or something. Yeah. And he came in and he gave gave amnesty to Mexicans. How is that conservative? George W. Bush came in, didn't do anything conservative. Senior, nothing conservative. Texas governor, nothing conservative. Show me something that was, conservative. Like I said, America lost its ability to be racist. Understand? Whoever's more numerous reserves the right to be racist. It's the crew with the bag. It's the crew with the bag that reserves the right to be racist at the moment. Because they got a bag. They're numerous enough and they have enough positions in high places to steal a bag and say, we reserve the right to be racist. That's what it means. That's what they did. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I wished someone would have warned us and said, this is where you need to go. Maybe Georgia is not the right place for you to be. You need to be here with these people. Go here. If someone would have said that, I would have said, oh, great that they're stealing stuff. Just don't go there. Don't hang around these people because they're stealing stuff and they're using it in a framing program. If someone would have said to us, this is where you need to be. If someone would have said to us, this is where you need to be, I would have said, yeah, that's fine. If that's what they want to do, make sure you get the word out to the rest of any white people that exist. That way they know and they don't come here. Yeah. Like I said, it's whoever's more numerous reserves the right to be racist. Understand? And America lost that right. Now, to be a conservative, what would that mean to be a conservative in America? It would mean that out of 45 million Mexicans or 40 million Mexicans, you would probably be able to send back half. Trump is not going to do it. He can't. No, Trump is not going to do it because he can't. If you would have a conservative today, it would mean that because China is spying on America and the allies, who were capable of taking care of the Nazi problem very thoroughly, they did. They wiped out the Nazis down to the last man. What a great job they did, huh? And now, the allies who were capable of exterminating those Nazis are now complaining to us that they're being spied by their Chinese friends who they gave manufacturing to. Yeah, that's a little bit confusing. So, to be conservative, what would that mean in America today? It would mean that because you're saying that you're being spied on, there would not be a Chinatown in New York right now. Yeah, because you would either pay them to leave and go back or expel them. That's what it would mean to be a conservative. There wouldn't be a Chinatown in California if you had a conservative. That's what it means. Especially if you're saying that they're spying on you, even though they're not. And they're here because they got invited. That's what it means to be a conservative. It would mean that out of 40 million Mexicans, you would be able to send back half. Now, can Trump do that? Absolutely not. Is Trump going to do that for America? No, he cannot do that. See, America lost its right to be racist. While other races around America, like the Amerindian races, Mexicans, they reserve this right. Yeah, the Chinese reserve this right to be racist. The Indians bordering China reserve the right to be racist. America lost its right to be racist. Yeah, that's why Ronald Reagan gave amnesty to Mexicans. George W. Bush didn't do anything about any Mexicans. The senior one didn't do anything conservative. Now, that's what it means to be conservative. If you want a conservative president, out of 40 million Mexicans, you'll probably be able to send back half. Yeah, and if you're saying that China's spying on you, you wouldn't have a Chinatown in New York or LA. Yeah, because you would send them back. Either by paying them or outright expelling them. Yeah, that's what it would mean to be a conservative today in America. However, America lost its right to be conservative because you lost your right to be racist. Who is racist? The crew with the bag. The crew with the bag reserves the right to be racist. The Chinese have reserved the right to be racist. The Indians bordering China, they reserve the right to be racist. The Amerindian races in South America, they reserve the right to be racist. The Africans reserve the right to be racist, especially in South Africa. See? Those groups, all non-white, reserve the right to be racist. Who lost the right to be racist? America. It's a right. You either gain it or you lose it. Now, last I checked, America gained this right by fighting wars. Yeah, they went to war in Panama, they did the war in Mexico, they did the war with the Native Americans. It's a war that you either gain or lose. You gain it by doing the war. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the only way it works. Granted, we can be more civil. Because we have money, and it's a great empire of money, you can basically pay anybody to go anywhere and get the fuck out of the way, yeah? But that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing with the Palestinians. That's not what they're doing with the Africans in America. That's not what they're doing with Africans in France. That's not what they're doing with Indians in Canada. Yeah, we can be more civil and we can pay people to fuck off and go somewhere else. But are they doing that? No, of course not. Why would they? You know, why would they when you can use them? You know, when you can use them to splinter the West into a million pieces. Yeah, when you can use your voting masses to splinter a country into a million pieces until it loses its global influence as a superpower. Which is the point, isn't it, commie fuck? You know, why not use those immigrants and their voting power to splinter a country into a million pieces until it's no longer a global power? Which is the fucking point, commie fuck. Isn't it? Isn't it? At the end of the day, that's the whole point, isn't it? How can a global superpower be splintered into a million pieces in 50 states? Yeah, or four quarters. You can split America into 4 quarters, yeah? How can that still be a superpower? It's not going to be. It's not going to be. You can use your voting masses, your voting anonymous masses who don't even have ID. Yeah, you can use your voting masses who don't even have fucking ID to splinter a country into 4 pieces until it's no longer a superpower. Isn't that what you want, commie fuck? Isn't that what you're after? Yeah, you are after that. That's what you want. That's what you did in Russia. You did it in Europe as well. There's a long time to wait. Wait until 5. Yeah, they really came through over there, man. Last time they came, last Friday, they really came through with some good stuff, man. Some of that orange chicken is very good. Orange chicken is very good. Granted, it needed more pepper and salt. You know, the whole point of, you know, it is, you should question what happened in America, because it was settled by the crown over here after Worcester, and it was supposed to be anti-British, so even though it was settled by this place, it kind of got an anti-British stance, and it was just as Jewy from the beginning. Understand, they had Jews and the slave trade from the very, very beginning. Understand, why would they, you know, if it was settled by the British? I'll get these fucking flower pots off the sidewalk. You know, why would, you know, it is suspicious in that the original colonies were settled by the British, but they had Jews. You know, they're saying that they went over there to get away from this place. But you had Jews from the beginning. And you had the slave trade from the beginning. Which is odd, isn't it? You know, if you're saying that you settled it to get away from this place, it is a little bit odd in that you had Jews from the beginning, and you had the slave trade from the beginning. Isn't that a little bit odd? If you're saying that you're trying to get away from this place here, yeah, from the, you know, the power of the of the British Empire, if that's what you're saying, and you settled in America with the original 13 colonies, why would you have Jews from the beginning in the slave trade? Yeah, who was it that decided to, who really was it that decided to leave Britain and go to America to settle? It doesn't seem like it would be white people. It seems like it would be a lot of Jews. It seems like it would have been done by Jewish power, right? Because you're saying you didn't like this place, and you left this place, settled in America, and brought slaves over there, and Jewish slave traders. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? If you settled America because this place was too Jewy, what happened then? You brought them to America and you gave them a slave trade?